Hey writers, authors, self-publishers, I want to discuss that dreadful B word, that's right, block. More specifically, writer's block. I know what you were thinking, drop a panda emoji if you thought I meant a different B word. Having spent many hours, sometimes days, weeks, facing writer's block, I wanted to explore what it is and offer some ideas on how to combat this challenge. For now, just know that you're not alone. All writers at some point will encounter some form of writer's block or some other challenge that they need to overcome. Let's dive in. There are many definitions of writer's block. Here's what Wikipedia says. Writer's block is a non-medical condition primarily associated with writing, in which an author is either unable to produce new work or experiences a creative slowdown. Essentially, you can't write as easily. Maybe the ideas aren't flowing as easily or have completely stopped. You're sitting at your desk, ready to write. It's your usual space, the usual time, all the stars are aligned, yet the words won't flow. If you've ever suffered from writer's block, smash that like button like you're smashing avocados for guacamole. Maybe, like me, you're suffering from an acute fear of failure, self-doubt, or maybe you're aiming for perfection. All this will only make writer's block worse. If you got any of these emotions, it's worth acknowledging them and then moving forward. I can't guarantee what I'll share will help, but it's probably worth a try to see if any will help get you out of that writer's block and back on track to finish that book you're working on. Having experienced writer's block more times than I care to remember, which isn't many times because my memory is horrible, let me share a few techniques that have helped me overcome said blockage and got me back on track. But before I get into that, I want to remind you to be kind to yourself. I'm an outrageously harsher person to myself than anyone else. If you're like me, please be gentle with yourself. This is an exercise to write a novel, which is quite a challenge in itself. There's no need to pile on negative self-talk to make the journey harder than it needs to be. Now, with that, let's get into a few techniques that have helped me overcome writer's block. Technique number 1. Change locations from your usual writing den. If you usually write in a Starbucks, try the library. If you write in a home office, swap it for the living room or kitchen or another room. A change of scenery breaks up the monotony of the same location and may spark some creative light within you. Hug that like button like koalas hug trees if this technique resonates with you. Technique 2 is break down writing into smaller, more manageable, bite-sized chunks. Don't try to swallow a whole 70-course meal in one go. Try eating one or half a meal at a time. You'll find it easier to chew, swallow, and leave you satisfied. Apply the same principle to writing. If you have a whole book to write, let's break it down into an outline. Break that down into chapters. Break the chapters down into sub-chapters, and so on. For every chapter, if you're drawing a complete blank, try writing a few bullet points on what you want to say. They can be brief, like sentences, or even longer paragraphs, so just get those points down and go from there. Technique 3 is reward yourself. Small rewards along the way will give your body signals that for every bit of writing you do, it gets a reward. Now, these rewards don't need to be fancy. A break, a walk, walking the dogs maybe, playing with your cat, a cup of coffee or tea, maybe even a small slice of cake or pie. Reward yourself for these small accomplishments. You're building a positive reinforcement habit of sorts. Before you know it, you'll look forward to writing again, and that will propel you to finish your book. Now, number 4, this technique is a little bit different, but give it a try and see if it works for you. The technique is to try different activities or creative pursuits. So expressing yourself through different activities may stimulate your creative juices and unlock the writer's block. If you like drawing or looking at art or playing or listening to music or sports or something, go do that for a bit and return to your writing after. Sometimes doing a workout or playing a bit of piano has helped me break through that stupid writer's block. It doesn't always work, but it's worth a try. Technique number 5 is a bit of a preventative measure really, and that is to take care of yourself. Self-care, breaks, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, generally, this will all help with a creative and sharp mind, and hopefully reduce the chances of writer's block happening. Now, just a gentle reminder to give that like button a panda high five if you like any of these techniques so far. If you stayed this long, I've saved this bonus tip for last because it's a bit of a cheat really. This one is seek inspiration outside of your manuscript. I found that watching movies in a similar genre can spark a lot of creative ideas for the next chapter or plot that I'm writing. Try to find inspiration outside of your current creative well. Watch movies or documentaries or films along the same lines of your genre. If you prefer to read, then read books in the genre, which you probably should be doing anyway. The number of ideas I've gotten watching spy action thrillers on Netflix cannot be understated. If you found the strategies in this video helpful, subscribe to the channel. Also, drop a comment and share how you overcome writer's block or challenges. I'd love to know how you do it. Finally, click here if you want more videos on how to finish writing your book, or check out this video if you want to get authentic book reviews.